Hi, students. Welcome to your math lesson of the day. And we are in 9.3 in Big Ideas Math. So before we hop on into section 9.3, let's do a little review of by counting by 10. So I'm just going to do a random number. So I'm going to put 40, well, if I can write it down, 41. And I'm like, okay, students, I want you to count by 10 onwards from 41. Go. So when you're counting by tens, whether it's five, twos, ones, or tens, you count by tens by adding 10 to the next number, but I want you guys to do it fast. So if I was to ask you guys, what would be the next number if you were counting upwards by tens by 41? So in your minds, I want you to think, okay, what would be 41 plus 10? Well, there's 0 in the ones place, so I'll just leave the 1. But then 1 plus 4 would be 5. And then what would the next number be if we keep on going? So 51 plus 10. Since there's a 0 in the ones place, the number you're counted by tens will be the same. So the 1 will still be there. And then 5 plus 1 will be 6. Then the next number, 71. And shout out the next one, 81. So that was just a brief warm-up of adding by tens. Okay, I'm going to let you guys look at that for a couple of seconds. Okay, awesome. So we did these type of problems a long time ago, but if I was to ask you what is 7 plus 8? But I want you to break it down by making numbers by 10 to make adding easier. So if we were to break down the number 8 to make it, to break down that number 8, but then add the 7, and then to make whatever number 7 is plus 10. So what number do we need to make 7 plus the number 10? Well, if we hold up 7 fingers in our hand, we need 1, 2, 3. We need 3 to make the full 10 fingers on both of our hands, right? So let me erase that. So we'll need a 3 to make it true. So 7 fingers plus 3 fingers equals 10 fingers. But then we want to make this statement true. So notice how, like, we broke down the 7 plus 3 to make it 10, but we need to break down that 8 to make it true. So if I was to subtract 3 from 8, so imagine you have 8 fingers on your hand, but you took away 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. How many's left over? It will be 5 fingers to make it true, to make it 3 plus 5 equals to 8, because we want to make these statements true. Okay, but since we know that 7 plus 3 is 10, and then if we just add 5 in the ones place, 5 plus 0 would be 5, and then we would want to keep the 1, so it'll make that number 15. Woo, that's our answer. Yeah, I know we did this like a couple of chapters back. Maybe it was chapter 6 or 5, but it was a long time ago. But we're going to review some of this steps today. Okay, let's do another warm-up practice problem. So in our next problem, we have 9 plus 8. So let's see. We want to bring down that 9, and then we have 2 statements. We want to make this statement true. Let's see, let me make that line a little bit better. So whatever 9 plus something is, we want to make that 10. And then we want to break down that 8 to give us our answer. Okay, so if we were to say, okay, you're holding up 9 fingers, how many more do we have for the full 10 fingers? We just need 1 more to make it 9 plus 1 equals 10. Okay, we take away 1 from 8. So if we had 8 fingers, we took away 1, we would get how many fingers left over? 7 to make it 1 plus 7 equals 8 to make that statement true, because we want to make these statements true. I noticed that, you guys, like, you write it down correctly to make it the right answer, the right sum, but you might put the 7 where the 9 is, but we know that 9 plus 7 is not 10. But yeah, you want to make sure like the steps are you want to put in the right steps. We want to make it 9 plus 1 is 10, and we want to make it 8. 1 plus 7 is 8. So we want to make sure we're writing down numbers that are equal or that are having true statements. But notice that 9 plus 1 is 10 and 1 plus 7 is 8. But if we broke down the 10, so we know that 9 plus 1 is 10. So now all we have to do is add 10 plus 7, and we add 7 with 0. Well, that will give us 7. That'll give us 17. And if you solve this work, or if you just solve 9 plus 8 on the number line, it would also give you the number 17. But that will be one good way to check your work. If you're like, I don't know if I did that right, because it's a very complex multiple step process to check your answer. But if you want to use the number line or check your or count your fingers with 9 plus 8, that is okay. Okay, and since we did a little warm-up activity, let's hop on over to our math lesson. Say hi to my puppy, Liesel. She's my background. Okay, 9 plus 3. So we're in a new section in chapter 9. So we have, the number models. We have 41 plus 7. If you look below, we have 4 sets of 10 to equal 40, and then we have one more set to equal 41, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ones left over. And then it asks us two questions. It wants us to find the answer, to find the sum, since this is an addition equation, so we're going to find the sum. And then it's going to ask, can you make a 10? So you're like, oh, Miss Schultz, I'm so confused. Well, when it means make a 10, it's kind of like the warm-up activity we just did. So we are going to look into our ones place to see if 1 plus 7 equals 10. So we added all of our ones together. Is that 10? So we add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, is 8 greater than 10? No, it's less than 10. So can you make a 10? No, we don't have enough ones to make a 10. And then it's going to ask us choose the sum. Well, we can count. Well, we know in our ones place we have 8, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So that'll make it 40. So 40 plus 8 will be 48. Okay. And then I'm going to do another example problem. In our next one, we have 56 plus 8. So first, it asks us, can you make it 10? Well, we're going to count our ones to see if it's greater than 10. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We have 14 ones. So we definitely can make a 10 since we have over 10. We have 14 ones. And now it's asking us to choose the sum, choose the answer. And this might be a confusing part because we do have more than we have in our ones place. We're working with a sum that's greater than 10. So you're like, oh no, Miss Schultz, I'm kind of confused on this one. It is okay. But this is how we're going to do to solve our work to make it easy on us. So if we look over here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8. And how many more do we need at 10? So 8 plus blank equals 10. If we have 8 fingers, and then how many more do we need 10 fingers? We need 2 more fingers, so we're going to count 1, 2, which this is 10, and we know that one of these equals one of that, so this is basically 1, okay? So we have an extra 1. But then we added 2 ones over here, right? So we're going to take away these 2 because we moved those 2 over to the right-hand side to make it 10. Okay. So this is how we're going to, since we, took away some and we made some to make the extra 10, now we have enough. If we look to our next set of ones, we don't have enough to make 10. So now we can go ahead and count the 10s that we have in our problem. We have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, we have 60, but we're still not sure how many ones we have left over. Okay, we have 60, 61, 62, 63, 64. We have 64 as our answer. Let's check our work. Okay, awesome. And we did it correctly. But that's how you would make, if you have more than 10, you will just take the leftover ones to make it a group of 10. And we know that one of the long rods symbolizes a one group of 10. So we'll just make that a 1, and we'll keep on doing that until we have enough ones to not make it 10. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 ones left over. So we didn't have enough to make another group of 10, but you're going to keep making 10s until you don't have enough ones to make a 10. And then you're just going to add the ones left over, and then you just combine the 10s with the ones, and then you get your sum, you get your answer. And that was just a little brief overview of 9.3, but if you're confused about this, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to help you out. But I'll let you guys practice on Class Dojo, and I'll catch you guys next time in math. Bye.